All right. Hello, hello. Yeah, live. Yes. Hello. This incorrect? Yep. Go on ad break. All right. No ad break. All right. All right. No viewers on. So far, no one. No one. It's perfectly okay today to speak to an empty room. Perfectly okay to speak to an empty room. Hey, see Pinky. 12. Hey, Chase. The usual. Mic check, audio check. Are we good? I blew out my machine last Thursday. Seriously? Audio check, mic check? Hey, rich man, poor man fan. How are ya? Well, 4:31. What? I need to get familiar with this, with the Twitch app. All right. Audio check, mic check. We good? We good? Are we ready to go? This is the last Twitch session of 2022. This is the last security class of the semester. This is it. Everyone on? Okay. So, hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to the very, very last Twitch of the security course. I may stream other stuff later on this month when we're on winter break. I'm Ming Chow, Associate Teaching Professor at Tufts. This is it. This is the last Twitch stream of 2022, the final cybersecurity course. Final cybersecurity course meeting of the semester. We will return in 2023. So, I want to ask you, for those who are here, thanks, Pap. Thanks, Pap Glenn. So I gotta ask you, okay, so it seems like, I definitely know, like, I honestly don't know how many viewers are really, really on right now. And I also do not know, who's actually a student in the actual course. So I hope that who's currently on right now, who's currently watching this, I assume that everyone is, I assume most of you are actually students in the cybersecurity course, in the actual course, whether that's the online section or whether that's the Tuesday, Thursday section. And I want to start off by asking an honest question here. Now, I haven't graded the second quiz yet. And for those who do not know, well, this is like the worst kept secret in the world. Is the quizzes are open book. You can use whatever you want. You can use whatever you want for to take the quiz. I mean, the quiz fill in the blanks, multiple choice, multiple guess, um, true, false, that style. My question to you is, and I want you to be honest, and please chime in for those of you who are watching right now. I mean, the quiz is not hard, right? Hey, Drew Fish. Hey, RZ. Like, the quizzes are not hard, right? I hope not. I mean, they're pretty easy, straightforward. I want to ask. Hey, Bobby Tables. I'm asking. I'm asking you folks. Like, be honest. The quizzes that I give for this course are pretty easy, right? I hope. They're pretty straightforward. A lot of definitions. None. Occasionally there's one or two tricky questions. And I'm also open book too. I mean, I never explicitly say that unless I explicitly say there's closed book. Then they're closed book. But I make the quiz, I hope, relatively really easy and really straightforward. I really hope I did. And especially in this day and age, um, I hope that, there's lower stakes than you think. This isn't like an algorithms course or a lot of other courses where 85% of your grade is based on exams. So, you may be asking one day, so where am I going with this? Like, why? Why am I actually talking about the quizzes in this course? You may be wondering, like, I thought you're not a person that really cares about exams. I think a lot of people have that impression, and yeah, that's true. I don't. Bobby Tables, that is that's a longer conversation for another day. So here's why I ask, and I hope that my quizzes are really straightforward and at a point where they're pretty quote unquote easy. Let me explain why now. I designed the quiz the way I did for a very, very, very specific reason. I design quizzes. There's only two types of exams I believe in. There's only two types of exams I believe in. Either one, make them really easy, low stakes, or the really easy one, or the really difficult ones. Those are the only exams that I totally I believe in. I don't. There's no middle ground. For this class, I opted for the really easy style of exam, the very straightforward ones. Here's why. There's a reason why I structure the quizzes in which it's a lot of definition, a lot of very basic concept, a lot of really basic information and basic content. The reason why I give that as a quiz is because of this reason. It's because we can't even get the basics right in cybersecurity. Like, what's the point in asking more difficult questions if we can't even get the basic shit correct? That's the reason why for this class, or that I structure this class, the quizzes are really, straightforward to a point where they're kind of easy. Because what's the point in asking more difficult questions when people can't even get the fucking basics correct? And this is an outstanding problem in cybersecurity. This is an outstanding problem. Like, what's the point in doing more harder stuff? We can't even get the basics right. Here's another motivation for you. If you ever been buying stuff, if you ever buy security products, God forbid if you do, my condolences to you if you've been buying security products. If you've ever if you've ever taken a glance at the security products ecosystem, including startups and companies, most, if not all, products have one of the following bright, shiny objects. They use the following terms: APTs, machine learning, comprehensive cybersecurity, real-time monitoring, behavioral analysis, next-gen, whatever, fill in the blanks. I want to give a shout out to Russell. My buddy Russell's going to come visit me next year. Yay! X-gen cloud enabled. There's a lot of buzzword hell. There's a lot of crap that is used to advertise products. I want to give you another motivation. Top U.S. computer science programs skip cybersecurity classes. Here are the 61 passwords that power the Mirai botnet. One of the largest hacks yet expose data on hundreds and thousands of students. Yahoo says hackers stole data on 500 million users in 2014. That's a motivation. Here's another motivation for you. From Jeremiah Grossman, security luminary. He posted this on May 2017. $81 billion later. I repeat, $81 billion later. Surveys found 35% of companies suffered 2 or more breaches in the last 12 months. 3 in 5 expected to be breached in 2017. What if I told you this slide, and also those motivating slides I just showed? I gave a presentation back in 2017. They were taken exactly as is in 2017. The point is this. I could give the same exact talk that I gave in 2017 right now without any changes and totally get away with it. In 2013, Veracode gave a presentation, We See the Future and It's Not Pretty. And that's actually an example from that presentation back in 2013. You have 70% of applications fail to comply with enterprise security on first submission. SQL injection is still a thing. Cryptographic issues is still a thing. The prediction, the rise of the everyday hacker, decreased job satisfaction, high turnover of security professional, default encryption, not opt-in, will become the norm. Everything on that slide has become, I was dead accurate, was spot on. Well, a lot of things have changed over the years. A lot has stayed the same. First of all, let's start with education. If there's any bright-eyed, colleges and universities are now offering cybersecurity programs. There's also a plethora of free cybersecurity programs offered online. Also, remember, I did not note by education institutions. A lot of free cybersecurity programs are offered online, and they're offered by companies like Google and Microsoft. So, the good news is there's a greater emphasis on cybersecurity education. On paper, that looks good. But under the hood, it's still the same shit. First of all, cybersecurity programs offered at colleges and universities are mostly at the graduate school level. This is the reason, and the last time on Tuesday, I said, I don't know how much longer I want to be in computer science. This is a problem that I've talked about literally up to a point on a vicious rampage back in 2016, and it still hasn't changed. Here's the thing. Even up to this day, if you're an undergrad in computer science or engineering, most graduating students still have no knowledge of basic cybersecurity. So here's the analogy I'd like to use. You're a friend, I think a lot of you folks may have known people who've done a degree in civil and environmental engineering. Civil environmental engineering. You cannot graduate, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot graduate with a degree in civil and environmental engineering without learning about health, critical infrastructure, safety, security. List goes on. Makes sense. I mean, you don't want to be driving over a bridge and then it collapse all of a sudden. I mean, there's a reason why such called catastrophes are rare. I mean, they happen every year, but they're rare. However, in computer science, you can graduate in computer science and not know a damn thing about security, critical infrastructure, health, safety, and all that stuff. In fact, furthermore, what a lot of people get in computer science is a lot of theory and a lot of programming. And also a lot of I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what computer science really even is anymore. I really don't. I mean, I've thought that when you come out of computer science, you understand how things work, but that's even far few in between these days. Okay? There is also a reason why when my brother actually was deciding on what to major in back in the early 2010s, I actually told him, don't do computer science. Go to a real engineering program where they actually talk about, you know, health, safety, security, that broad knowledge. Sure enough, he chose correctly, he chose wisely, and he didn't pick computer science. I get this question quite a bit, and I've received this question today, as a matter of fact, is that a lot of students don't know about the opportunities online to learn. It was really sad that I had a real student that thought to get into cybersecurity, you really need a master's degree or a PhD. That was in the email that was written. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's like, yeah, it's like, yikes. Quite a lot of cybersecurity professionals don't even have a college degree. Well, then again, most schools don't even teach cybersecurity anyway for all these years anyway. In terms of K to 12, few opportunities or requirements. Yeah, I mean, now a lot of K to 12 opportunities are organized by people in the security community or by companies. But it's almost never a part of like the actual K to 12 curriculum, the education. Far few in between. Application architecture. Application architecture, you're building software systems, those things, boils down to one word these days: the cloud. You're using someone else's computer. There's a running joke that says, in a few years, which is, I said this like a while ago, is like, and this is turning to be ringing a little bit true. There's only going to be 3 operating systems: AWS, Amazon AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure. Is that, the migration of people using someone else's computer is still happening up to this day. But here's the thing. Despite the fact that, okay, you're using the cloud as your infrastructure to power systems and applications, and the list goes on, people are still making the same damn mistakes from decades ago. Back in the heydays, open FTP servers. You still see them up to this day. But now, you don't just see open FTP servers, you see open AWS S3 bucket, open Elasticsearch instances, open Mongo databases, completely open to the world, the keys left in the car. Steal whatever you want. And that's why you're seeing so many data breaches. Open, insert your favorite service here. Okay? No username, no password, just either guess the URL or enumerate through a URL, and you get the keys to the kingdom. Same mistakes, open. Same mistakes being made. Data privacy. Data privacy, the good news is now there's an alphabet soup of data privacy laws at the all levels, federal and at state level. At the international level in Europe, there's now the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. Okay, on the surface, this sounds nice. There's laws, which is unheard of a decade ago. There seemed to be some emphasis on data privacy, but it's too late. I mean, what's the point? When companies and institutions, they either are collecting so much data or they have already collected so much data, they all got broken into. Let's not even name companies because we can literally, this quick stream will not even end if we start naming names. It's just way too long. They all get broken to. Um, and data is either given out for free or you can buy them for a few bucks. I don't know if I've ever said this on publicly, but like the hack databases of Drizzly and ProctorU. I mean, I bought those, from a forum for under $10 each, and we're talking like millions and millions of records there. So, like, what's the point? I mean, we already have like there's some companies have already collected so much data. Um, and this also goes to voter databases as well too. I mean, this voter databases has always been an issue during election time, and and all the data gets stolen by way of SQL injection. As I said in the previous slide, open databases buckets are there for just for the taking. Just ask for it. APIs are leaks, and I just mentioned. I mean, you can now think back in the early 2000s. If you want to buy a database, it costs a lot of money. Well over 50, like we're talking like $50 plus. Now, there's just so much data from so many hack companies. It's like so saturated. Now data sold pennies on the dollar. Not only just on the dark web, but also on forums on the regular web that we use day to day. So let me ask you folks this. Are we still facing these problems? Phishing and social engineering, password reuse, weak password, and distributed denial of service attack? These are the really hard problems in cybersecurity, and there's no solution in sight. Um, a big change that has happened over the last 10 years is at least cybersecurity now, at least is not just people scoff at the topic and say, oh, it's just some 400-pound hacker in someone's basement. Now you can't even read an article, let's say in Wall Street Journal or New York Times about an incident without a country being named, like a country being named. That's been involved in some either being the hacker or being the victim. Now you have infrastructure being attacked, hospitals, schools, utilities. Um, like for example, you get into a power plant or a water treatment facility with just a weak password. That's now in the news. Okay, we're now in a full-blown international crisis in terms with regard to cybersecurity. So where do we go from here? So what options do we have? Well, there are really only two options I see. There's either the really hard or the extremely easy. The really easy option is no changes, business as usual. Let's make everything into a let's keep everything as a war zone as it is right now. Or if you want to make some really draconian changes, it's going to be really hard and also really expensive as well. How about requiring cybersecurity education at the K to 12 level? An anecdote is this is how physics became like quote unquote a requirement in a lot of education systems because of like World War II. Things like because of the war, there was a strong push from the top to actually say, okay, schools must actually teach physics because we need to have people actually learn about physics for national security purposes. An example is a cybersecurity maturity model certification (CMMC), which is kind of a good thing, but it's a very cosmic change if you ever do business at the cybersecurity level, in cybersecurity at the federal level. So what the CMMC is this: if you're doing business with the federal government, you have to prove and make sure you have to not only prove but make sure that you have a capable cybersecurity program and that you are incorporating cybersecurity into your business. That is what the cybersecurity maturity model certification (CMMC) is for federal government and contractors. Not an easy, and I know a lot of people right now who actually do business with the federal government. They're going through training and certification as we speak, and even a lot of cybersecurity professionals doing a lot of trainings. Yep, yep, Jeff. The changes came from the top. I mean, the changes come from the very top, at the very top level. All right. What other things that we got? Okay, this sounds like options are, well, it's either one who ends of the extreme. But what can you and we do in the meantime? Well, immediate. If you There was a talk by Rob Joyce, who used to head the tailored access operations group at the NSA. To break into adversaries' computers, the number one attack vector: weak passwords. For you, the immediate thing to do is use a good password manager, multi-factor authentication, and input sanitization. Also in the immediate term, try to invest in old school, either no or non-tech stuff. One of the movements that is currently going on, I remember, well, I'll get to, I can tell you, one of the nice trends that is currently happening, that actually fits very in line with this investing in old school, no slash non tech, is um, the U.S. Navy is now resurrecting good old celestial navigation. Can't I mean you can't hack that stuff electronically. The other one is this. The other one is what's also a trend, and is retro computing and also retro gaming. Um, and why is that? I think there's a lot of people who are in that community, in the retro gaming and the retro computing community, is they're realizing, you know what? There's just so much tech garbage and waste out there, and things don't work really well anymore. I mean, you have to have an update like all the time. But a lot of the old school technologies, like the original Macs, the Super Nintendo, the N64, they just still all work. All you need to do is just plug the cable ins and just power it on, and it works. There's no surveillance. There's no like dark arts. There's no black magic. There's no um, you know, really like draconian dystopian stuff that happens under the hood. Also no notifications as well too. Is an extra bonus. The long term is to invest in cybersecurity education, um, early. And this is unfortunately, we have now dug ourselves so deep in the relying on technology that cybersecurity is now not even going, it's not going away unless we wean ourselves off of the dependency on technology. Um, Up to this day, it's still a god awful problem with communicating with non technical folks and policymakers. Awful problem. You still have non technical folks and policymakers who they can ban encryption. Invest in simplicity. Again, this actually also ties in with the people who are nice and investing in things like retro computing and retro gaming. Um, the last resort, if things really don't work, heavy hand of legislation. If things don't get accomplished, I mean, the only other way is a heavy hand of legislation. So while the news is rather dire, there are some things that you can do and think about in the meantime. Yeah, just use a backdoor. Yeah, wink, wink. But I'll say my final words here. But for now and for the future, I remembered I went to a presentation by the FBI in 2007, and one of the most sobering slides at that time in 2007, was crime does pay. Crime will continue to pay and will continue to pay very well. the last few years has just been a boom for criminals, like especially when it comes to like things like, well, thanks to cryptocurrency. Crime will continue to pay. Um, I I can't tell you. I actually have a gist. You got to check this out. Is how long have we been playing this fucking game of the cybersecurity skill shortage for? And all I need to do is just collect one article for a calendar year, and just post it here. And I've been able to do that without any issues. And here is for each and every calendar year. It's this problem of the cybersecurity skill shortage. If each and every year, okay, that there is an article on, oh, there's a cybersecurity professional shortage, there's really no shortage. It's just someone is just doing a horrible, just people are just getting the hiring thing wrong. And also, quite frankly, I know a lot of people who want to get into cybersecurity and don't even have a fucking chance. There will be there will be another executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity. And here's this. In 5 years, someone will be giving a presentation on what SQL injection is, what DDoS is. Someone will be doing that. And in 5 years, I can give this presentation again, this exact presentation again, without any changes to it, and totally get away with it. And I've actually said to a number of friends, if one day, if I actually get invited to give the keynote at at the Black Hat Security Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, I will give this presentation. I will make absolutely no changes to it, not even a single word. And I can totally get away with it. Let that sink in. Yeah, that link. Like, really? And so far, just to let you all know, all of a sudden I am having a problem. Why aren't things actually, can I actually paste from one to the other? Well, that sucks. Hold on, let me see. Oh. Is there a way I can do this? If I can actually copy link? Hold on. Yeah, again, there's some things that don't work anymore on the stupid machine. There we go. I'm going to share. I'm going to airdrop it. Yeah. I'm going to airdrop the damn thing. There we go. That will work. There we go. I just pasted it. I had to go airdrop the damn thing, and that works. There we go. I'm going to be in year number 12 now. 2022. I just have to find something. Shouldn't be that hard. Yep. I can totally get away with this presentation. So, let this sink in. Like, I did not change any words. This motivation slide, these first three slides were written in 2017. This entire presentation that I just wrote is as is in June of 2021. So I've used this presentation in fall of 2021, spring 2022, and now fall of 2022. Sad, isn't it? I can totally get away with this again. And so far, I'm winning. And so far, I am winning. So with that, folks, those are my final thoughts. The future is bright for you. The future is actually bright. There's a lot to learn. But when you get to a certain age, you'll realize, well, I'm starting to see some pattern. It's not that pretty. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in this semester. It's been a fun semester. It's another fun semester of hijinks. For those of you who are taking final exams, good luck. Have a wonderful winter break. One thing I will say here is you will do have some free time in the winter break, especially if you're an undergrad. Take the time to learn something. Take good advantage. All you need to just learn one thing. You don't need to learn like 50 different things. Just one thing. It will set you far. Okay, folks? Take care, folks. Enjoy, and I will see you soon. And for those of you who are tuning in, we'll tune back in January 2023. Take care, folks. Good night.